I've generated over $2 million in commissions in just the last 12 months alone, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the exact step-by-step strategies that allowed me to do so. What's up everybody, my name is Henry Eisenstein, and if you don't know who I am, I've been a part of over $400 million worth of real estate transactions, and I'm only 28 years old. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you basically the part 2 to my part 1, which by the way, if you have not checked out part 1 of how to become a top commercial real estate agent, you got to check this video out. Awesome video for you. This is essentially the part 2 of that video, where I'm going to be talking about exactly my experience in generating over $2 million in commissions in the real estate world over just the last 12 months. So the very first thing I want to be talking about, because in the first video we talked about working with investors, I want to be talking about more specifically what type of investors to work with if you have not yet ever generated your first $1 million in commissions. What I want to talk about now is that there's 4 types of investors. The very first one are institutional buyers. These are typically people that are looking to spend $50 million or more. Institutional money, big hedge funds, big private equity groups. They're going to want to spend $50 million or more on a real estate property. Again, we're talking purchase price, not just money to put into the deal. Number 2, let's just call these large investors, right? These are people who are looking to spend between $10 million and $50 million. Then you have the third type, medium-sized investors, $2 million to $10 million. And then you have the fourth one, which we'll just say small investors, okay? That is under $2 million. What often happens is you say, oh, just go work with a bunch of investors, and then you kind of, like, without conceptualizing exactly what type of product they're looking for, it can be very difficult to find the product. Majority of the transactions around the country are in the small investor category, the sub $2 million mark, okay? Majority of transactions are not done above 10 million, 20 million, $50 million, right? In either the larger or the institutional clients. That's why I want to talk about this really quickly, because a large majority of the volume of transactions, the most transactions are done, again, under $2 million in the commercial world. If you're a fairly seasoned commercial agent, just know that it's okay to then level up into the next category. I just want you to know that if you're going to want to try to do a volume business, a lot of volume is going to be done in the sub $2 million range. It just is. I recommend trying to work with investors that are on the smaller end of those scales to begin with. Just to begin and understand, like, that's how you get your feet wet. So again, especially if you haven't made your first 6 figures in this business, you should definitely start there. If you're now trying to cross the $1 million mark, you need to be doing more larger transactions. Because if you do one deal, even 2 points on a $10 million deal, that's $200,000 versus 2 points on a $1 million deal, which is $20,000, right? It's gonna be a completely different world worth of income for you. The only reason why I'm able to work with some institutional buyers these days is because they see my track record. They know I know what I'm talking about. Point number 2. In the last video, we talked about off-market deals. I'm here to explain to you in depth what we do in order to find those off-market deals and why I believe prospecting is the only reason why, or one of the biggest, most valuable things that I've done in my career, and I've never stopped doing, that has allowed me to make as much money as I have in my career. Prospecting. The majority of what I'm talking about here around prospecting is cold calling. And if you are, someone who's been in the business for 20 years and you've never crossed the 6-figure mark in the commercial real estate world, or even 500 grand for that example, the reason why is you're probably not focusing on generating enough leads on your own. You're hoping and praying people are going to refer you business. Being able to then generate the deals on your own when you are prospecting for business, which again, like, by the way, if you're not just pulling lists off of CoStar, pulling lists off of Reonomy, right, and cold calling these lists, you are essentially letting a lot of money sit on the table. If you're not doing it, your competition is. Because I know I am, and I know a lot of people who are making a lot of money as commercial agents, they have ways of generating their own leads. Off-market business. A large majority of my business is built off of it, because I'll explain in the next piece here, which is when you're working with the mindset of an investor. Mindset of an investor first, by the way, and having a multi-lens look at this world of commercial real estate. What that allows you to do is find pockets and gaps where other people aren't looking. Because what most people do is that they go, as a commercial agent, they go, how do I list this property? They find a deal, guy's looking to sell a property, call it a multifamily property, okay? It's an apartment complex. They're looking to sell this property tomorrow, needs to sell it tomorrow, needs to get out. Every now and again, you're gonna find somebody who's like this. Even if they want retail, it doesn't matter what the scenario is. If you're saying, someone's looking to sell a property. What often happens is that a commercial agent, most of the time, is gonna go, okay, great, I can list this property for sale. List the property with me. Where that is one lens you can look at. If you're getting massive value out of this video and you wanna work with me personally, make sure you check out the first link in the description down below and schedule your free consultation with myself and my team. Now you're the client. Now you're the investor. What could you do differently so that you can make more money? Well, you can do 2 things. You can essentially wholesale the contract, assign the contract to somebody else. Basically this way you could double in the deal and make way more money. You can make assignment contracts hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in an assignment. Okay, you can make substantial money. Or you can syndicate the deal, and you can get a 2% syndication fee up front, right? A finder's fee essentially for finding the deal, and you can be a part of the deal. So instead of just brokering the deal and making your 2% commission and then the deal's gone, you can look on the other side of the coin, which is a couple different options. Again, raising the money to buy it if you don't have the money.
Or buying it yourself, obviously.
Or getting it under contract and then assigning that contract to somebody else. So instead of making 2 points on a deal, I make 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10%, where it's allowed me to not have to worry about only making 1, 2, 3% like a normal realtor. I can basically create my own commission as long as I negotiate the best deal. The better deal that you can negotiate as an agent or investor, right? Whatever hat you want to have on, the better the deal that you negotiate, you're going to be able to generate more commissions off of that deal. Every couple $100,000 that you can knock off the price based on your negotiation skills with the seller, you're now building in equity for the new buyer. And what often happens is that as a real estate agent, we just go, okay, hey, I got you a fantastic deal. Oh, you can buy it here for $2 million when it's originally worth $3 million. Or, oh my God, thank you so much. Here's your 2% commission. Goodbye. Right? And you made your 2 points and the investor made a ton of money. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. What instead you can do, you say, hey, I got this deal for, again, if you can negotiate a $1.8 million deal, hey, I got this deal for $2 million. And guess what? You can assign the contract term for $200,000. So instead of making 20 grand or 40 grand, I'm making 5% commission, 10% commission. And by the way, my investors know, it's like, hey, listen, I'm just letting you know, this is an assignment contract. I'm very upfront. The price is $2 million. You're going to make $1 million plus, whatever it is, right? It doesn't really matter. I'm very upfront with my clients. And I say that, like, they know me, and I'm very, very, which again, in the beginning of your career, you need to build the relationships where you're able to do this. You can't just say, oh, hey, yeah, it's an assignment, and then they have no idea what it's for. Now I'm able to do assignments and make a few $100,000 on a deal where most people will make 20 grand or 50 grand. It's a massive difference in income, and it's an easy, simple way where if you can learn how to do it and work with partners that can teach you how to do that, you're going to be able to make substantially more money, which is only when you think like an investor first and like an agent second. Very, very important mental thing to shift. So point number 4, working with professional partners. So I want to explain how this can be very simple, but super, super lucrative. We all have a number of investors we work with. And again, sorry to burst your bubble, but you're probably not the only one who's sending them deals. Now, what I do differently than most commercial agents is the following. I will talk to my investors. I'll say exactly this. I'm just curious. I know that you've told me in the past that you have several people who send you deals. Is that accurate? Yes. Just out of curiosity, when somebody sends you a deal and it does not work for you, what do you do with that deal? Well, I just tell them it doesn't work for me. Would you be possibly open to sending me that deal and we'll do the deal together if I have an investor that is possibly interested? What will happen is, because a lot of these guys have their real estate licenses, right? And for the ones that don't, again, I'm not going to pitch them the opportunity to make money because you can't do that. But I'll say to them, like, listen, if you have a deal that doesn't make sense for you, can you send it to me and maybe I have somebody who's interested? Yeah, sure, Henry, no problem, of course. So what ends up happening is that now I have a crazy deal flow. Because that's all, listen, if you control deal flow, you control the money flow. I have now dozens and dozens of people where now they get some deals all the time. Now they're kicking me those deals now. What often happens with those investors is they don't just make an offer. So what I'll do with my clients is say, listen, just make an offer. It doesn't matter. Just because they offer, say, oh, we got a great deal at $3 million doesn't mean I can't offer them 2.2. Point I'm trying to make here is that I've been able to generate a lot of money from basically lost opportunities from other people. I'm capitalizing on opportunities that other people are not. If you love this type of content and you think you have what it takes, I'm also looking for individuals who are looking to basically double, triple, quadruple their income in the next 12 months. And we only have a few slots open with one of my coaching programs, so make sure you click the link in the description down below to schedule your next call. And lastly, and but not least, I want you to understand this. With the shifting economy, if you are not constantly thinking of new ways of how to shift and adapt in your business, of how to generate more income from the current deals that you're doing, you're going to be part of the percentage of people who are barely surviving instead of the group who are thriving in this market. Hope this video helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.